Pass Around the Smile is like your go-to friend, the one that lifts you up and backs you till the end. She's there to guide and inspire, challenge and teach, and remind you that your best self isn't out of reach. Self-development, manifestation, self-love and more, it's time to trust the process more than ever before. Welcome to Pass Around the Smile, the podcast. I'm your host, Cleo Massey, and I am so glad you're here. Let the magic begin. Oh my gosh, hi guys. Welcome back to the Pass Around the Smile podcast. Yay! This episode is really exciting because it is all about what I have been manifesting lately. I have been manifesting the coolest things. I have been on the highest of vibrations, and I'm so excited to share with you how I've been manifesting what I've been manifesting and how I think I accidentally manifested too hard. I literally accidentally manifested so many things and then I got completely overwhelmed, but it's all just really exciting, and on reflection, it's also really interesting. Before we jump into the episode, I want to thank today's sponsor, Pyjama. They are the most gorgeous Australian pajama brand. I personally have 2 of their pajama sets and their robe. I am a girl who invests in nice pajamas. I don't believe in the whole, no one sees you when you sleep, so you may as well chuck like an old t-shirt and undies on. Respect that if that's you, but it is not me. I have always been one to ask for pajamas for Christmas. I've always been one to buy myself pajamas because it makes me feel so good. And when I feel good, my energy is good. And when my energy is good, that is when I can be my best self. That is when, in relation to this episode, I can manifest good things because I'm feeling good from within. And you might be thinking it's just a set of pajamas, Cleo, but for me, it means more than that. Pyjama are known for their family Christmas pajama collection, which is so exciting. As you guys know, I love Christmas, and this year it's bigger and brighter than ever. Their pajamas are featuring a festive fig leaf print on 100% cotton, and there is something for everyone. Get this, guys, including your furry friends. I think I need to jump on and get one for Crumpet. You can explore on www.pyjama.com.au. Free shipping over $150 in Australia. Make some magic this Christmas morning with Pyjama. Okay guys, I'm so excited to share so much of this with you. I got the most beautiful message the other day, by the way, from one of my community members. They said when they're listening to my podcast, they feel like they're just sitting down and having a tea with me. And I just felt so happy because that is the vibe I want to create. I want you guys to feel like it's just you and me having a conversation. There are no limits on what we talk about. It's relaxed, it's fun, it's uplifting, but it's also honest and vulnerable. So I hope that you guys can get comfortable wherever you are, whether you're on a walk listening to me now, on a drive, on your couch, having a cup of tea. We are doing this together. We're sitting down, we're having a chat, and what a great time of year we are in to have this uplifting chat, because we are moving into my favorite part of the year. If you've listened to the Pass Around the Smile podcast for a while, you'll know that come December and January, I come out with a lot of fun stuff on my social media, on the podcast, and this year I am going to do it again. I'm going to do my New Year card spread. I'll talk about that. I'm going to pull cards for each zodiac sign. I'm going to create mantras for each zodiac sign. I am going to be having my New Year course again. It's not going to be called Manifest Magic this time. It's going to be called something else, which I won't tell you yet, but I have been planning it, and it is going to be magical and transformative and life-changing. So keep an eye out for when I post that. It will be a 5-day New Year course again that you guys can join in on. I'm keeping it cheap because I want you guys to be able to do it, and I want you to feel so excited and uplifted for the start of the year. And then there's that time between Christmas and New Year where it feels so exciting to reflect and kind of energize yourself with setting goals and just getting really pumped for the year ahead. I love that week. It feels really magical to me. Like it's always surrounded by magical energy. So I'm going to try and get out as many magical, feel-good podcasts that will guide you throughout this festive season and coming into the new year time. In saying that, I am learning to not put too much pressure on myself. Being a new mum now, I obviously have lots on my plate, but I just love this time of year for all this self-development, spiritual development stuff. And we're kind of starting off all of this exciting stuff with this episode. I just said stuff like 3 times, but hey, we'll leave it in because we're just having tea together. So I accidentally manifested too hard recently. Like, I'm talking the last couple of months. When I say I accidentally manifested too hard, I don't mean that I forced my manifestations. I mean that I accidentally manifested too much into my life, so much good stuff that I actually ended up getting so overwhelmed and being like, why did I create all of this magic in my life? Because it's too big and too exciting, which sounds crazy, but let me take you through it. So for a long time there, you guys know I was really sick during pregnancy, and then I, had indigo and I was really busy during like the postpartum phase. So I hadn't really been manifesting like I used to. Like, I wasn't manifesting all of this incredible stuff purely because I was either too sick or too busy. And it's only been recently where I have reminded myself of the power of manifestation. I must admit, when I was in that phase where I wasn't manifesting much, I felt like a bit of a fraud because I was still doing my podcast and I was still talking about manifestation. But I was thinking in the back of my head, oh my God, Cleo, you're actually not successfully manifesting anything for yourself at the moment. Like, how can you talk to everyone about this? But I knew my time would come back around, and that time has come now. And this reminds me that the law of rhythm comes to play in our lives, where we go up and we go down, or we go in and we go out, just like the ocean. The law of rhythm works in energetics, in the energy that surrounds us in everyday life. If we weren't down and kind of not necessarily low or feeling awful, but if we didn't have those times that were slower and maybe a little stagnant sometimes, we wouldn't know how good it feels to rise and gain that momentum, that really exciting energy where everything is flowing and unfolding in front of us. We can't be at that pace all the time. And what I have also reminded myself of, while right now I'm living through this really exciting phase where things are just unfolding so easily and so excitingly for me, I'm actually reminding myself, enjoy this, Cleo, because it's not going to last. And that's not me being negative. That's me being realistic. That's me knowing that while I am gaining all this momentum now and so much is happening, that soon I will have a phase where I'm just being and I'm just present and I'm just enjoying and I'm just relaxing. And we can choose to see that as though we are stuck, as though we are not moving forward, as though nothing new is coming into our lives, or we can choose to see it as the law of rhythm giving us a chance to catch our breath, giving us a chance to slow down and actually appreciate what has happened, in my case, in the last few months. So I know that things are going to slow down for me again soon, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. And in the meantime, I am embracing this energy that is surrounding me that feels so supportive and so damn exciting. So I like to make my episodes really practical and absolutely packed with information. So what I've done is I have worked out 5 reasons as to why I have started to successfully manifest again. So I'm going to go through those 5 reasons now. If you need to take out a paper and a pen, do it, or just listen. It will flow over you. This information will flow over you how it needs to. So the first one is self-worth. I have done a full episode on self-worth and how important it is for your manifestations. So go back a few episodes and listen to that if you haven't listened to it. If you have listened to it, honestly, listen again. I have never understood the power of self-worth until the last year or so. I have completely stepped into my worth. I have actually understood deeply what I am worthy and deserving of. I'm not just saying it. I'm not just saying I'm worthy and deserving of this. I'm worthy and deserving of that. I am truly feeling it to my core, and that is when everything changed for me. And it wasn't until I did the real work and asked myself the hard questions that made me really uncomfortable, that made me realize I actually had no self-worth. I didn't feel worthy of holding long conversations with people because I thought other people were bored. I didn't stand up for myself because I didn't want to make a fuss. There were so many things that I were doing that seem little and that seem, Like that, I've talked about it a few times when you're at a coffee shop and say, my order, I ask, can I please have a hot chocolate with marshmallows? And I get the hot chocolate and there's no marshmallows. And usually I'll just go, oh well, and walk away. But now I have started asking for the marshmallows because I asked for them, because I paid for them, and because I deserve it. This might seem so small, but if every day you are making these sacrifices where you go, oh, well, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to make a fuss. I don't want to ask for what I deserve. I don't want to ask for what I have just asked for. It might seem tiny. It might seem insignificant, but what you are doing is you are saying to the universe, I am not worthy. I'm not worthy of asking for what I want. I'm not worthy of getting what I want. And I have been very guilty of in the moment thinking, oh, this is just so small. Surely the universe isn't going to hear me or see that I'm not asking for the marshmallows. Surely this won't count. So I'll just slip away and I'll just drink my hot chocolate and not even enjoy it because it's not sweet enough without the marshmallows. But it will be fine. I'll start next week. I have been guilty of doing that, but enough is enough. And when I tell you things changed for me, when I made these small changes that aren't really that small after all, wow, I cannot believe what has changed in my life when I finally honored my worth. I'm not going to talk too much on this first point of self-worth just because I have recorded that full episode that kind of goes into everything I would say anyway. So please go back and listen. But when I do tell you my examples of what I have manifested later in this episode, I will tell you how I kind of worked on my self-worth in that exact example and how I think it really helped me manifest my desire. So moving on to the second, so this is 2 out of 5 now, it is understanding my why. I had a few weeks where I was feeling really, really anxious and really yucky about social media, but obviously a lot of my work, whether it's my personal brand or Pass Around the Smile, is it revolves around social media. So I have to be on it. And I wanted to feel good about being on social media because social media is incredible. It does bring amazing opportunities. But I was blocking all of this because of how anxious I was feeling about what I was putting out and how it was being received. And what I did was I did this huge journaling session to actually understand my why I do what I do on social media and what I put out. And what I realized was that my aim with all of my content, whether it's on my Cleo Massey social media or my Pass Around the Smile social media, is to create content that uplifts, inspires, or makes people laugh. In that moment, everything clicked for me. I understood why I show up on social media, and it's like all the pressure just melted away. Because I know that if I jump on social media and I'm staying true to my values and beliefs of creating content that uplifts, inspires, or makes people laugh, then I have nothing to feel yucky, anxious, or worried about. Nothing at all. So when I kind of came to that realization and made that decision, I felt so strong and focused in my why of how I show up as Cleo on my personal and Pass Around the Smile, that it really helped me start to manifest what it is that I wanted, the opportunities that I wanted, that essentially came from social media in the end, which you will hear from soon. The third thing, so 3 out of 5, it's choosing things that I wasn't ridiculously attached to so I could surrender properly. So often we will ask the universe for something that to us is huge and life-changing and exciting, and also to us is something that we need. So let's say that your car broke down and is a complete write-off, and you actually really need a car to drive your kids around and to get to work every day. So you are manifesting a car, but you might find you are hitting roadblocks and you are not manifesting the money to get this car and you're not understanding why. Well, maybe it is because you actually need it so much that you're placing too much importance on manifesting this desire. When we place too much importance on something, we give out that desperate and needy energy. That energy is not a vibrational match to this new car that you want, which is sitting at an incredible, exciting, uplifting, and easy energy, is it? So what I would do is practice with some things that you aren't completely attached to, that you don't necessarily need, that you're not necessarily counting on for your overall well-being or happiness. So that's what I was doing. I was kind of picking and choosing, just letting my imagination soar about these things that could be really cool for me. And again, you'll understand all of these 5 points when I go into actually telling you what I've manifested. But what I found was I was surrendering because I was busy with other things, and I probably have I do have manifestations that I still haven't manifested into my life because I do want them really bad, and I probably am too attached to that one desire. I'm not detaching and letting it happen how it's meant to happen. So that was number 3. Number 4, this is a big one. It is keeping my vibration high and celebrating every win like they were an absolute huge success. So Luke and I have started communicating more about our goals and what we want with, like, whether it's money or career or just things that happened at work that day, holidays we want to take, how we want to feel. We have always talked about this kind of stuff together. I'm lucky to, be in a marriage where that is something that we do quite a lot, and it just comes up quite naturally. But I think in the last month in particular, we have really delved into talking about it more, and we'll go on little walks together, and it will be all about, what do we want? What are we excited for? What's coming up? What isn't serving us right now? And what that does is it helps us keep our vibration really high. I think at the end of the day, when you are struggling to manifest and when you're getting lost in the steps and you're unsure of what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right, why something maybe isn't manifesting, I think go back to your vibration. Where is your vibration sitting? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling in alignment? We all know what it feels like to be vibrating high, to be in alignment. It is those days where you are just feeling so full of life, so fulfilled, so excited. Things that would normally annoy you just don't bother you. Music sounds extra good. Food tastes extra good. Everything is flowing. That is when your vibration is high, and this is available to you every single day. It is a choice that you get to make. Now, of course, some days are harder than others. Some days we are going through things. Some days we are angry. Some days we are sad. Some days we are grieving, of course. And on those days, I'm not saying to force your vibration up. But when you are in a state of mind where you're just feeling annoyed about the little things, where you're just feeling stuck in a rut, when you are, allowing those negative thoughts to spiral just because it's comfortable, or you just feel like you want to be like, woe is me, or blaming other people, this is when you need to go, enough is enough. You are not helping yourself. You're not helping the ones that you love. Snap out of it and raise your vibration. How? Journaling, meditating, do my walking meditation or do my powerful affirmation meditation. They're both on the podcast for free. You have access to them. Do your card readings, ask for guidance, and listen. Let your walls down. When we let our walls down, when we give up the need to control, things change. Everything begins to flow, and it can be a simple shift. It can start today. It can happen today. That's the exciting thing about self-development, is you don't have to wait long. It's not all hard. It's not going to take you years to heal. It's not going to take you months and months to manifest this desire. It is if you believe it's going to be long and hard, of course. But if you believe it's going to be fun and it actually could just happen randomly tomorrow, it will. So keep your vibration high. And how can you do this? Can you find a friend where once a week you have a little phone conversation or send some voice messages back and forth about what you're feeling really excited about, what you're wanting to manifest, some goals you're wanting to achieve, what you're feeling like you need to let go of, saying something like, what, I've been feeling so guilty about this person that wants to catch up all the time, and I actually just really bit the bullet and sent an uncomfortable message, but it did also feel really empowering and they completely understood, and now I feel so free and so proud of myself. These kind of conversations help us with connection, to connect with others, and help us feel proud of ourselves and really excited and clear moving forward. And what do you want to manifest? What would be really cool? Do you want to go on a holiday? Do you want to meet someone new? Do you want to start going to more events? What is it that you want? Start talking about it. Raise your vibration. When your vibration is high, you almost don't have to do any of the other steps in the law of attraction, because if your vibration is high, it is just energy attracting energy, and science backs this. That is what's so exciting. All of this stuff isn't just woo-woo. It's not just woo-woo stuff. I feel like I'm getting very very into this right now. Hopefully you guys are coming along on the ride. But that's the exciting thing about raising your vibration, is you can manifest so effortlessly, and you don't necessarily need to ask or visualize or whatever it is, unless it feels good, of course. Do it, why not? But raising your vibration, come back to that when you are feeling lost and stuck. So this is the 5th thing that I have been doing that I have found has really helped me get back into manifesting really cool things. And that is doing things of service. It is not always about you, okay? Sometimes we think it is because it's my life, it's your life, we're living our lives, but it is not always about us. And what I have found is, especially with Pass Around the Smile, I'm pouring my soul into coming out with things that I know will help my community, will help them feel uplifted and inspired, and something that I've been creating lately, which I know you guys are going to love. You've been asking about it for so long. It's going to come out in like the next couple of weeks. I have just poured so much service into it that it feels so good for me to do that as well. I'm benefiting hugely because it feels so good to give, right? So whether it is thinking about someone else and just sending them a text, whether it's buying someone else a gift or some flowers, whether it is going and helping a friend move house, or, it doesn't have to be huge. But think to yourself, what can you do that is of service to other people today? Do you need to just listen to a friend that's having a hard time? When you give and when you share your love and energy, you will receive it back, and you will receive it back in the form of energy. And we know that everything in this world, whether it's a person or a tangible object, is made up of energy. Whether it's an opportunity or a circumstance, whether it's just really good energy coming back for you, it will come back. Now, you don't want to perform acts of service just so you get good energy back. That's not really how it works. You want to perform acts of service because it feels good to give. It feels good to help. And what are you manifesting at the moment? Is there service based around that? It doesn't matter if there's not, but it really does help. In step 2, how I said, understanding your why, and in step 5, doing things for service. They kind of go hand in hand. So those are the 5 things, the 5 tools that I wanted to give you guys that I've really noticed have helped me change my manifestation flow completely. Because like I said, I wasn't manifesting for so long, and now I am like crazy. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you guys everything that I have been manifesting, and then I'm going to try and bring in the 5 steps that I just talked about to show you how I use them to manifest these things. So it kind of all started with a mindset shift for me. That mindset shift was I moved away from feeling sorry for myself. During postpartum, it's hard what mothers go through. Our hormones are all over the place. We have lost a lot of ourselves. I mean, for me, coming out of pregnancy, I lost myself completely because I was sick for so long. So there was a big part of me that actually felt really sorry for myself. And I needed to feel into those feelings for a bit. And I did. I acknowledged how I felt. I worked on it. But there came a time where I was like, Cleo, look around. You have a beautiful, healthy daughter. You have an incredible husband, family, friends. I have everything. I'm actually living the life that I have dreamt of for so many years. So I needed to get out of that mindset shift where I was feeling a little bit sorry for myself. So I started allowing time for journaling and meditation again. And now this wasn't something huge. Like, I'm not saying I started meditating every day or journaling every day. I didn't. I'm a mum now. I'm also a working mum. I don't want to say I don't have time, because I tell you guys off for saying I don't have time, because that's a limiting belief. But, you know what I mean. Anyway, I was making excuses. So what I did was this mindset shift was I am in control. And I can help myself. So when I felt that I did have the space and time, I would journal and I would do my card readings and I would meditate. And what kind of came to me in those meditations was how I was lacking in self-worth. This is a lesson that I had learnt before I got pregnant. I realized that I had little to no self-worth in many, many areas. I worked on it, I changed it, and that's when I realized the huge difference it made with manifesting what I wanted to manifest. Then I got pregnant, then I had the baby. So, I then sunk back into feeling low feelings of self-worth. So in my journaling and in my meditation, I allowed myself to actually understand what I was doing to myself, which was not feeling worthy and making small sacrifices every day that added up to, a big amount of not worthiness, which was, of course, blocking my desires. I'm going to talk about this more in a money episode that I have coming up, but the first thing that I journaled was how incredible I believe that my podcast episodes are, purely because I put so much love, time, energy, and research into every episode, and I pack them with information. And when I was writing this in my journal, I realized that I believed it. And that was the change for me. When I truly believed how great my podcast was. And again, this is hard for me to say because I am conscious of sounding like up myself, but I'm also just working on honoring myself as well and feeling worthy and deserving. So I'm going to say it. I believe that I put so much effort into my podcast, and what I wrote in my journal that day was, I deserve to be paid for my podcast. Now, it felt uncomfortable at the time because Pass Around the Smile, when it started, it was never about money. In 2015, it was a blog. It was a blog to share information to help people. Of course, now it is my full-time job. And at the end of the day, we all need to make money, right? And we all deserve to make money, and we shouldn't feel bad or guilty for desiring money. So I wrote that in my journal, and I kid you not, sponsors, you will know, you're a Pass Around the Smile listener. Sponsors came in hot. Every single episode has been sponsored since I wrote that in my journal. Why? Because I truly believed how worthy my podcast was of making money for myself, and to continue getting these feel-good episodes out to the people that I am acting of service for. Again, that's another of the 5 coming in. I need to be paid so I can keep doing it. And when I made that decision and when I truly believed it, it just all happened and it all flowed. Again, I'll talk more about this in a money episode coming up because that's more about money and that's not what this episode is about today. When these emails started coming in of businesses wanting to sponsor my podcast, of course, it was helping me feel more worthy every single day. And now we shouldn't place our worth on external validation or things happening externally. But of course, at the end of the day, it helps. And initially, I did the work myself. I did the self-development. I did the self-reflection to understand that I was not feeling worthy. And then I made that mindset shift where I realized, hell yeah, I'm deserving, and hell yeah, I deserve to be paid for my acts of service. But the huge thing there was the shift in belief. How many times have you said to yourself, no, I believe in myself. I believe I'm good enough. I believe I can have this manifestation. I believe this visualization of mine is already in my fruition, like in my life. How many times have you said that, but not truly believed it? I felt the shift in my heart. I felt the shift of energy when I went from saying those things, like I believe that I'm worthy of, my podcast reaching good people. I believe that I'm worthy of good things happening to me, of speaking at great events, of connecting with really great people. I felt the shift from that to when I truly was like, oh my gosh, I wholeheartedly believe that I deserve every great opportunity in this world. It was the biggest shift. And I don't want this to sound frustrating for you because you might be thinking, how do I get to that point? How you get to that point is the self-reflection, is the self-development. And that's what I did. Okay, so then I started celebrating every shift and keeping my vibration high. Remember, we want to celebrate every shift like it's absolutely huge, because that is when you are allowing more of it for yourself. You're saying, yes, please, universe, more. So when these emails were coming in, I was going home, I was telling Luke about it, I would tell Mum about it, I was talking about how excited I was and how grateful I was for these opportunities, how excited I was to go into the studio and record the podcast. Even though I always am excited to go and record the podcast, I now felt really special to be recording this podcast because people believed in me and wanted to promote their businesses on my podcast. So I started celebrating these wins in my heart in a really big way. I would journal about them, I would speak about them, and what that did was create momentum for me. In my journal, I then wrote, I am craving the opportunity to speak at an event created by good people for good people. The incredible Grace from Holding Space with Grace reached out to me randomly via a DM and said, I want you to speak at this event. You are like the perfect person. I couldn't think of anyone better. She was so beautiful. She was so lovely. But she was like, I want to do this event in 2 weeks. Are you in? I can't explain to you the rush of energy I got in that moment for a few reasons. The first reason being, I literally had just manifested this. So I felt so powerful in this moment. The second reason was I knew that because I felt worthy, I was beginning to attract really good people doing good things. And it was just like a pat on the back from the universe. And the third thing is that I knew I had this very special connection with Grace from the get-go when I had met her previously a few weeks earlier, and when she had messaged me, it all felt so right. And what that said to me in that moment was that my hard work of the self-reflection and the self-development, even though it was uncomfortable, that I had done a few weeks prior, it was working, and it was making all the difference in attracting the right people and the right opportunities for me. During this time, it's all a bit of a blur. I don't know when things happened or how things happened, but I was manifesting like crazy. I mean, like, I would write something in my journal and the next day it would happen. Now, bringing in another of those 5 things that I talked to you about, it's because I wasn't seriously attached to these things. For example, I wrote, I need some new activewear. I literally just wrote, I need some new activewear. I don't know why, but I did need some new activewear, but I don't really care if I got new activewear or not. And then this brand reached out to me that I had worked for previously, and they were like, hey, would you and Luke like to come into the store and try on some activewear? Yes, we would. And I also know that I am lucky in the sense that I do social media work, and you might be listening going like, I'm not going to get a random email saying come in and pick some free activewear. I hear you, and I don't want to seem, again, like up myself or anything like that by saying this, but this is just my truth. This is just where I'm at the moment. And you never know. You could win a competition for activewear. You could get given a present, at Christmas with activewear. You could get given hand-me-downs of perfectly good activewear. You could walk into an op shop and find, some Lululemon tights for $2. Who knows? There is ways that it can happen for you. Absolutely. But this is just how it happened for me. And I think why I wanted to share this was because my vibration was so high, and because I had been celebrating every win, the momentum was just flowing on like crazy, where I was just feeling so powerful and so worthy of everything, but deeply worthy and deserving. I wasn't just saying it like I had done for so many years, and I wasn't understanding why the law of attraction wasn't working for me. Because I was just saying I'm worthy and deserving, but I wasn't completely feeling it. This changed everything for me. And like I said, I felt the shift in my heart. I felt when I was like, I am so focused on getting what I want because I know now that I've put in the work and I know that I deserve it. Now, the really cool thing that happened, and this is something that I kind of teased out in another episode where I was like, something really cool has happened, something that you can't even, like, that you don't even imagine, in your wildest dreams, happened to me. And it was during this time where everything was just happening, like left, right, and center. Things were just flowing. I was getting the most exciting phone calls, the most incredible emails. I was waking up every day feeling refreshed and excited and like really just wow. Like I'm not even talking about all of the things that I manifested because I actually can't, because it would go for too long. Like that's how exciting the last couple of months have been. And yeah, some things were small, but they weren't small to me because it meant that I thought of something, I created the thing, and then I manifested it into my real life. That's why it was so exciting. So to tell this story, I have to go back quite a few months. So when Indy was she was really young. She was really young. I can't remember how young, but basically when she was asleep one day, I was scrolling on TikTok and I thought, I never put up the video of me telling my family that I was pregnant, and it's kind of funny. I might just slap it up on TikTok. Slapped it up on TikTok and it went absolutely viral. You may have seen the video, you may not have. If you want to see it, just go to my Cleo Massey Instagram or TikTok account. It's there. I was a sleep-deprived new mum, and what happened when I put this video up, without even thinking, I just put it out to the world, is I ended up with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of DMs, emails, even phone calls of people wanting to buy and share this video. I was so overwhelmed and got myself so anxious because I didn't know what any of this meant. And in my sleep-deprived state, I signed this stupid online form to this company in America, which gave them the rights to use and sell my videos, something like that. I honestly don't even really understand it to this day. But essentially, I did the wrong thing. I then blocked so many other opportunities that came in, like huge opportunities. Like, for example, they wanted to share it on the Jimmy Fallon show. I blocked these opportunities because I signed this stupid form that, this company kind of screwed me over. Anyway, it was also my fault. I then got so incredibly anxious and upset with myself. I was so hard on myself about what I had done because of the thought of what this could have been and what this could have bought me had I not filled out that form. I was so angry with myself. I felt that I had let the universe down because the universe had given me this huge opportunity of, making this video go viral, and then all these incredible media outlets wanting to share it, which would help build my profile, and it would also bring money. They were offering to pay for this video. So at the end of the day, it was kind of my fault, and I stuffed that up. But what I did was get so upset with myself that, I allowed my energy to lower ridiculously. And of course, I then was going to block any other manifestations from coming. So I allowed myself to be all sad and sorry for myself for a little bit. And then I realized not only was that making me feel awful, but of course, Indigo and Luke were feeling that energy from me. So what I did was I decided to let it go and surrender. And it was really hard to do that, again, because of the not knowing of what this could have bought had I not filled out that form. So I then said to the universe, I wrote in my journal, I did all the things. I was like, I'm letting this go, but can you please not allow this to be a wasted opportunity for me? Can you please, I can't really remember what I said, but it was something along the lines of, please reward me for surrendering here and for letting this go and for returning to myself and being kind to myself again about this. I want to reap the rewards from putting out this video, and I trust that that will happen in time, but now I'm letting it go. Fast forward, what's it been, 6 months? You may have seen on my Instagram already, but I was sitting on the couch at mum and dad's one day, and I was already feeling incredible because all of this other incredible stuff was happening, and not because I'm lucky, no, because I had done the work to create these really cool things for myself, and I knew I deserved them. Again, I'm just saying this again to really get it into your head how important it is to feel worthy and deserving of what you want, and to also do the work to bring in the cool things for yourself. Got this email from TikTok saying that my video had been nominated for Video of the Year, that I was invited to the awards, that I could bring 2 guests, that they would fly me down to Sydney, that there would be, media opportunities and all these cool opportunities that would come from this video. My jaw hit the floor. It's like one of those cool things where you have a dream about something and you wake up in the morning and you are so excited, but then you realize it's not real. It was like that for me. I was so excited about it. And do you know what I realized in that moment? And I said to mum and dad when I opened the email, I said, oh my God, I was watching a video of this girl who was flown down to an awards ceremony in Sydney. And I remember watching the video and just thinking, how cool would that be to get to go to a really fun event, to celebrate, to meet cool people. And yeah, I just thought that would be so cool to do something like that, to be invited to something like that. And I remember seeing it and feeling into that energy of how special she must have felt and how much fun she must have had flying down there, doing her makeup, her hair, going to this event, celebrating her work. And then I obviously let it go because at the time I was just admiring that for someone else. And this is a lesson, I think, too, in jealousy versus inspiration. I didn't watch her video and feel jealous. I watched her video and felt so inspired that I could create that for myself as well. And boom, 6 months later, I did. And the opportunities that being nominated for this award have brought me, I can't even begin to tell you. It's been really, really cool. One of them being, I said to my mum, I need help with my social media. It's getting to the point now where I'm getting emailed for my Cleo Massey account to, do all these collaborations and these jobs. And I'm, some of them don't feel right for me. And I'm big on not doing jobs that, don't align with who I am. Some of them are right for me, but I'm still uncomfortable talking about money. also with these TikTok awards coming up, I need help in like capitalizing on this and, you know, using it to promote myself and my brand and blah, blah, blah. Like just trying to think with like a career hat on here, which has always been hard for me because I have a spiritual business. It's not necessarily like a business where I hustle and I'm here to make money. But at the end of the day, you know, we do need to make money, as I said before. Anyway, so I sent an email out to a social media management company that day. Send an email being like, I need help. This is getting all too much for me. Like, can I hear about what you do? Can I maybe sign with you? Like, you know, I didn't say it like that, but I sent the email out. And the next day I realized I hadn't heard back. And I was like, well, that's a bit sucky, but oh well, let it go. Then I get a message from a friend who used to work for this company. And this particular company wanted to sign me for social media management. I cannot tell. I'll talk about this company more in coming episodes, but this company is an Australian company who have been around forever. They're extremely reputable. They're extremely successful in their field. They are also, most importantly for me, honest and good people who really, really believe in what I do. When I tell you, I just could not believe it when I had that phone call that day. And they were like, we want to sign you. We want to do this. We want to back you. We want to help you. Oh my gosh. And from then to now, the opportunities that they have already bought me, the conversations that we have already had are so next level and so exciting. And just the way that this all worked out, I look back and I think that little old me just needed to trust, just needed to have some faith that everything would work out. And not just that everything would work out, that incredible experiences and opportunities were available for me. I just needed to trust, let go, and feel worthy and deserving. So I'm now at a stage in my life where I am feeling really free and really at ease because of so many different things. I'm feeling at ease because I believe that I'm worthy and deserving of good things. What that brings me is the power to say no to things, and also the power to see something and go, I want that, or I want something like that. I'm going to create it for myself and back myself. And yes, you guys, I bet in a couple of months or maybe even a couple of years, who knows how long this rhythm is going to go for me, I will come back down again and I will struggle to manifest and I will be blocked by different things. And I will tell you guys about it when I am. But right now I'm in a really exciting phase and I want to share that because I want this to inspire you. I want you to feel my energy and take some for yourself. Something else that I have really noticed too, and my mum won't mind me sharing this, is that I think that my feel-good energy and my standards that I'm setting for myself are feeling inspiring to her, and she has been feeding off my good energy and realizing that she is worth manifesting incredible things for herself. And when that happened, incredible things have started happening for her. Not only does she get to come to the TikTok Awards with me and she's so excited, she was approached by Mama Mia, who wanted to do a podcast with her and wanted her to write articles for them. There have been really exciting things happening in my mum's life, and I believe it's because when you surround yourself with people that are of a high vibrational state, you are attracted to that. It is contagious, and that's why they say you are a product of the people that you spend the most time with. I think I need to end that episode there because it was honestly just so packed. I've been talking so fast. I'm so excited. There was so much in it, and anything that doesn't make sense or anything that you may feel I have rushed over, I've probably rushed over it for a reason because I'll expand on it in episodes to come. But please comment if you're listening on Spotify. You can comment on the episodes now. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a review. It really, really helps me to keep going, guys. Please let me know if it resonated or if it made you feel excited, or if in the next coming weeks you do start to manifest again. Get excited for this time of year. I am coming out with so much stuff soon, guys. Please keep posted on my social media. I know you are going to love what I am coming out with, because you've been asking for it. You guys are amazing. Join the Facebook community. All the links are in my bio. A huge thank you to Payama for sponsoring this episode. You'll find their links in the show notes too. You guys are amazing. Let's manifest magic. I'm so excited right now if you can't hear. Yay. Woo!